The War Zone by Alexander Stuart is a dark and intense novel that explores the psychological and emotional trauma of a family, seemingly ordinary family, through the eyes of a teenager. Sounds interesting? Sounds intense indeed? Yes, I read it after seeing the film, and I was even more impressed. Welcome to Check That Book, a special place where we get acquainted with arguably the most disturbing books ever written. And today we're taking a look at The War Zone by Alexander Stuart. And yes, like I've mentioned, I've seen the film first, the Tim Roth movie, and I was absolutely blown away. It's a very well done psychological, dreadful, this kind of how to say it's just so depressing, I guess is the right word. And lately, I've found out that The War Zone, the movie, is based on a novel. And of course, naturally, I decided to give it a read. The story is set in an isolated home in the English countryside where our protagonist, a 15-year-old lad, and his family, consisting of father, mother, older sister, and a newborn sibling, they move in for a fresh start, so to speak. And from the first glance, much like in the film, but I'm not going to compare the two, it's not film versus book this time, just the novel. Beneath the surface of their seemingly normal life, there's a lot of disturbing moments and secrets that the reader unravels. The book is kind of like a deep dive into the thoughts of this unfortunately disturbed young man. And the novel itself takes a harrowing turn when the protagonist, the young man, discovers that his father is sexually abusing his older sister. I mean, the father abuses his own daughter, who happens to be the protagonist's older sister. She's around like 18 or so, but still, abuse is abuse. And this revelation shatters our main character's perception of family values, and it forces him into this moral and emotional struggle, which I think it's very well and interestingly described. So our main character attempts to process and respond to this information and to the abuse, his anger, helplessness, desperation grow bigger, and it leads to an emotionally charged and tragic climax. And if you want to have your day ruined, yes, this is the book for you. Like I said, I'm not going to be comparing the film adaptation to the book, but the video about this will come out eventually. I'll prepare a better video for you guys on this subject if you're interested. I hope you are. But if we just look at this novel, like a standalone material, then this is a rather intense read. And if you're someone who is into psychology or studies psychology, specifically developmental or youth, yeah, I highly recommend to take a read, because it's as if you are indeed reading a diary of a 15-year-old boy who is seriously messed up because of certain events in his life. The certain struggles that he goes through indeed can deform some of his perceptions, and so subsequently manipulate his actions. The War Zone, the book, is in fact on the disturbing books list for reasons. Yes, like I mentioned, if the sexual abuse of your own daughter and the younger brother witnessing it, and etc. If that doesn't bother you, which why? Then the War Zone is known for its unflinching portrayal of abuse, violence and the psychological scars they leave behind, specifically with this boy. 15 years is a very vulnerable age, and this is the time when a young person is about to become a young adult, and it's the time where he or she can easily his or her mind can be quite easily turned upside down and twisted to someone else's advantage, perhaps even, or just some beliefs and moral code that's been attempted that was attempted to be instilled. Yeah, I guess I'm saying it right. Yeah, the moral code that was supposed to be instilled there from a very young age can get easily changed or even shattered at this specific age. It is traumatizing, but some of us deal with such trauma better than others. But at such a vulnerable age, and you can read it between the lines. It's hard. It's complicated, and despite everything he does, our main character later on in the book, you can't help but still feel a wee bit sorry for him, because you know why this is happening, and you have to uh, cut him a break because of, again, his age and the household circumstances that he lives in. I'm not justifying any of his actions, not at all. It's sick and sad, and what makes it even sicker is the fact that it's a quite a realistic plot. The war zone is quite realistic. Thumbs up for the realism, and that is what's truly disturbing. That shit like this can and perhaps does indeed happen. About the writing for a second here, Stuart's writing can feel a bit raw and definitely uncompromising, which might be difficult for some to digest or decode even. But it's still a powerful read and a disturbing one to boot. So I still highly recommend this one for all of you fans of the disturbing. This was a quick and neat, hopefully, introduction to the war zone. I hope you find such content interesting, because I encourage you to give this video a boost in the form of an erect thumb, and make sure to subscribe for more. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones, ladies and gentlemen. I shall see you soon. Goodbye.